Hello and welcome. Today we're here with Lisa Duxbury to talk about her book, Uplift, Energizing Educators' Passion and Purpose. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Darity.
So, Lisa, tell me what inspired you to write this book, this fabulous book?
So it was a couple of things. Um, After COVID in about 2021, we started to see this trend in education where it suddenly became hard. It became difficult to retain educators. Newer educators were coming in, and I know of instances where they came for a day or two and quit. Or they made it a few months and then resigned. And older teachers who were at that age where they could retire were retiring, even though they really had no desire to retire. And so it was a combination of that was happening. And in 2019, when I was going through my coaching school, all I kept thinking through every single learning session was teachers need to know about this. Why do teachers not know about this? This should be required information for teachers to have because they're working with human beings. And it made so much sense. And so I think the book was, it was up here somewhere in 2019, 2020. And as we kept seeing more teachers leave, especially teachers that saw themselves in a teaching role for their entire lives. They went to college for 4 or 5 years, and in some cases, accumulated a lot of debt in doing so. And then they got into it, and it wasn't what they thought, and they left. Or they were great teachers, and they just couldn't do it anymore, and they left. And so the book really came as a place, out of a place of love. It's a book, it's information that I wish I would have had when I was a shiny, brand new 23-year-old teacher 30 years ago. And because I wanted it in my hands, I also really feel like it has the potential to shift the really ugly culture that exists in our school right now. I debated whether it was starting with principals or with coaches or with teachers. And I ultimately started writing the book for teachers because I felt like they're in the most need. They need the most support. And I truly believe that what I learned in my coaching school about energy and how we show up as teachers and how our students each show up is really important information for teachers to know. So they're my people, and so I wrote this book for them.
Yeah, that is great. Oh, yeah. And so much need out there, and you saw the need and you responded to it.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. This book is really amazing. So, tell me, what did you discover that surprised you in the process of writing the book?
Oh, I don't want to tell you this.
Oh, come on.
I found myself constantly working through fear. I have a chapter in the book about love and fear and how really every emotion is a derivative of one or the other. And I think after I learned that, I started seeing it everywhere in the school system. And I think I was shocked to see it in my own writing process. And what I mean by that is I was committed to tell the truth for educators that are still working in the systems. I was committed to being my authentic self. I was committed to saying things that I wished administrators would have said at times. And I was committed to saying things to be a voice for teachers, to be an advocate for teachers. And it turns out all of that is really scary. All of that has a lot of fear tied to it. And I found myself getting to a spot where I was like, oh, okay, I'm done. But then there would be this nagging at me for days like, okay, but you didn't say the thing. You still haven't blatantly addressed this. And because of that commitment to help, to support, to maybe get answers and to for things to maybe shake out differently at even like a bigger federal level, I really felt the responsibility to say the things that maybe some teachers won't appreciate, or maybe some administrators won't appreciate. So I guess I found myself thinking about what people were going to think if I said the thing, and I chose to say the thing anyway. I pulled on my big girl panties and I said them. So I guess we'll see how this lands with people.
Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, that's fabulous. Looks like you faced your fear and did it anyway. You got it. And
Yes.
yes, and that's an amazing experience as we go through life. And I have another question for you
Okay.
too. What I want to know is what advice would you give educators who are interested in energizing their passion and purpose, which is, of course, what you've written about? What advice would you give just shortly?
Yeah, I think, well, buy the book. And then
Of course.
as you enter the pages of the book, I think that it will serve the reader well to go in with an open mind. I think it will serve the reader well to go in with an open heart. I think it will serve people well if they're in a position where they're willing to challenge themselves to think about something in a new way or to try something on just to see how it feels, even if it feels like complete woo woo fairy dust unicorn theory. Um, I think like that ability to be really honest with yourself and then take the risk. You can take the risk in secret to think about things differently or try on something that feels really uncomfortable.
Wow, that is great. That's really good advice to open heart and open mind in reading something that's so truthful and so specific with regard to the educators. Thank you, Lisa. You can pick up Lisa's book, Uplift, Energizing Educators' Passion and Purpose on Amazon at amazon.com and at independent bookstores everywhere. So thank you very much, Lisa, for writing this amazing book. It's fabulous for educators. Thank you.
Thank you, Darity.